So come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. We've got a hump day grid on our hands, and that should be an awful lot of fun. And I found this wine. This is called Beefsteak Club. It's a Shiraz from 2017, and it's an Australian Shiraz. And again, if you look at this label, you'll see what drew me to it initially. I mean, I'm just kind of a sucker that way. But I'm like, oh, wow, Limestone County, Australia. Never heard of it. Gotta love it. Can't wait to try it. And it is fantastic. Got Shiraz, Cassis type notes on the nose. That New World boldness. And it is a bold wine. Softish tannins. Nice finish. It'll grab you. This is a grabber right here. This is a fantastic and playful wine. It is interactive. And with those tannins, you definitely want that beefsteak with this one, right? You know, you definitely want the beefsteak with this. And that would be absolutely fabulous. As a matter of fact, this would be a tremendous wine with a prime rib, something like that. Or my absolute favorite, corned beef brisket. But can't go wrong with this one. I think also some spare ribs would be nice, some pork ribs. With a savory sauce, not a sweet one. That would be tremendous. Yeah. I could sit and just sip that wine the whole time, or we could probably do a crossword. So why don't we do it in a grid? Let's hop into it. Let's see what we got. So for Wednesday, May 7th, we've got a Tom McCoy construction edited by Will Short. So got everything up and running. Let's go ahead and hop in to see what we got going on. So Manly at 5 letters. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? I'm thinking macho, right? And I remember that song from the Village People when I was a small child. Thinking, oh, that's cool. It's got a cop in there and a fireman, and oh yeah, all walks of life were represented. You know, you had like a warrior or a chief and some sort of maybe a lineman or somebody that works on telephone. I don't know. It was crazy. I loved it. But I had the album. Bert or Ernie? Hey, Bert. How about a Muppet? Scientist played by David Bowie. Gosh, I miss him. Just, wow, I miss him. The Prestige, and that would be Tesla. You have seen everything he's ever done, listened to everything he's ever created. Oh, he's just an amazing individual, and just so, the world's not the same without him in it, you know? Is to Livy. I'm assuming Livy. French names, maybe A. Relaxed could be at ease. Ease. There you go, Christopher. You got it. Activity that turns an urban area into an obstacle course. No clue. Okay. I have no idea. So we got a nonviolent protest, strikeout, farewell to artist Chagall, strikeout, and then a nonviolent protest. I don't know. Let's get a little bit more on this to figure out what's going on. Interesting theme, though. Say Pendragon, father of King Arthur, and that would be Uther. And many graphics in business presentations. I'm assuming charts, and I have to work with them myself. And oh gosh. Ugh. Mild expletive. Well, what the heck could that be? Don't know. Is that right? Wheel on a school bus themed cake, perhaps. Ah, yes, the ever ubiquitous Oreo. Constructors love Oreos as much as they love ETAs and GPSs, and oh yeah, that's a thing right there. Hot chocolate holder. I'm assuming we're shooting for a mug with that, and so maybe this is a peace march. That's, my mind is constantly staying on the one, wondering what that could possibly be. Awesome. Who knows? extravagant type of fundraiser. It could be a gala. And it's also an apple. Hair rhymes with purse. Feel the pain. Maybe we're aching today. Get ready to seal as an envelope. Perhaps we're talking about licking. And the cruelest month per T.S. Eliot. Oh, April. So I guess we've got epic. All of my European friends, and I have a lot of them, it seems. I've been here so long and I've just met people far and wide. But one thing they always tell me when we're talking about the stereotypes that make Americans Americans, what makes a Yank versus everyone else. And what really comes out more than anything is how we overemphasize that something is, say, pleasant. You know, if it's pleasant, you know, it's rad, it's awesome, it's sick, it's twisted, it's awesome. You know, I mean, it's just epic, you know, kind of a thing, right? You know, and I have to admit that is kind of funny, you know. I mean, it is kind of funny. Get equipped for, maybe gear up. So I guess I've just learned that a park hour, I don't know. I'm going to have to look up how to pronounce it, but I've just learned that this is when you take an urban area and turn it into an obstacle course. A park hour, parkour. I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. I'm not even sure what I don't even know if this is, if it's some sort of anagram or if it's just what, you know, what does it stand for? I don't know anything about it. So that will be an interesting thing to find out after this. I've learned about yellow legal pads. I learned all about, I watched documentary after documentary on Butch O'Hare, the fighter race Navy fighter pilot with a Medal of Honor after his very first mission. Wow. Yeah. So if you don't know much about O'Hare, you know, the eponymously named Chicago airport, right? You know, the other one besides Midway. It's interesting. Go with one's gut. And it turns out that yellow legal pads, there's a lot of theories, but no one really knows for sure why. So, interesting. Maybe the glare, maybe it creates a sense of calm so that you can collect your arguments while you're in a courtroom. All kinds of thoughts on why yellow legal pads are yellow. It's really kind of fantastic. So endure. I guess we could have a put up with here, but I really don't know what we're doing. I don't have that kind of confidence yet to, you know, take those simplified wild A guesses. So swags are just not going to come right now. Seeks help from. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna have to work on this Wednesday. It's gonna be a job for us today. So contain could be to keep in, maybe. And comic strip sound of impact. How about a kapow? And then we'll change it if it's wrong. Drawer, a drawer, or door part, and I think it might be a knob. And let's see, theater boxes. What the? Oh, maybe amps? Didn't think about that. Yeah. Okay. Feelings of animosity. Maybe enmity. Enmities, yeah. Try to look at it. I don't think I've seen this in a grid in forever. Enmities. Well, try it. Talking about using some language that we don't normally use, or at least I do not. Among other things, perhaps, if it's an abbreviation, maybe it's Face the Nation, CBS. Okay, good. First rate could be top notch. So go buy car. Well, maybe in England, right? I think we'll motor over. Yeah, all right. I'm liking that. Pi follower, actually P follower, I guess this would be row. And eco mode, you know, I've got that on both the Beamer and on the Mini, and somehow or another I always find myself in sport. Okay, so I think we gotta put up with, and as Churchill is attributed by some to have said, this is something up with which I shall not put, ending one's sentences and prepositions. One of 16 over the course of the Ming Dynasty, and I think we're talking about an emperor. I've got to walk through some of these spellings, make sure I'm not doing something crazy. Symbol in the Bluetooth logo. I don't even think I know what the Bluetooth logo has in it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever even considered it before. Watt or Newton could be a unit. So maybe they're looking for a rune here. I don't know. Pull on, maybe tug. We do have a rune, actually. So much for my joke. Seeks help from, maybe turns to. Someone to turn to in your time of crisis. So a Notre Dame team would be the Fighting Irish. Okay, well, getting around there. Wrath could be ire. Domain, again, could be the realm. And Ahab's leg, that chapter in Moby Dick. GPS datum, I'm assuming an ETA and not an ETD. A little bit of everything. One who might receive a letter at school. I think we're talking about varsity jackets, maybe an athlete. Or if you went to school like I did in the Texas, north central Texas countryside, in Azle and in Crowley, it was an athlete. Athlete. Combest, you yo-yo brain, you owe me 5 laps around the field. Oh, I was always in trouble. Yo-yo brain. Chops off. Okay, that's crazy. I think we can put an O there, but we're going to have a lobs or lops off, and I don't know. So, hoppy bar choice. Well, hoppy. Hoppy, of course. We're talking about IPAs here. One of these days, I'm going to drink one. I've never had one. I don't drink beer. I kind of like that Bavarian beer we had on here 3 or 4 months ago. That was pretty good, but I haven't bought any more. I don't know. A little bit of everything. Perhaps this is a ton. Figure it out. Let's see that dance move where you lie flat by a door. Oh, that's to do the mat. What's going on here? A little bit of everything. Okay, so maybe an atom. Okay, got it. I was wondering if it would be a ton, like a ton. A little bit of everything would be literally a ton of stuff, right? So, courageous. Intrepid. Okay, and amenity attached to an airplane seat. We've got an F here with 8 letters. I'm going to jump on the footrest. So, okay, I'm feeling pretty good so far. I don't feel like I've screwed up anything that I know better than to screw up. I may have to go in and fix something just because I was ignorant on it, but downside. Downside. I guess a con, okay, because I think these are CDs, these media for old music players, and so we've got do the mat. Is that where you're laying flat on the floor? I think. Browbeat. For reference, it's over 21,000 pages in brief, and I have the OED now. You can't see it because of the way it's cropped there, but my darling Mutti got me the Oxford English Dictionary for my Christmas, which I got in March, and it was awesome. Best birthday ever, right? So, browbeat, I guess we're talking about maybe to heckle or hector. So, we're going to find out down here on one of these if it's an OR or what. So, Mexican money, peso. So, I guess we are going to be hectoring. Let's see, ENTs as an example. Perhaps we're looking for doctors. Org that might have you put your belt on a belt. I think we're talking about the TSA. And for those of you that have to deal with Newark, wow. What a mess. I feel for you. I really do. And then for those of us in this community that do not have a real ID or whatever that's called now, I think all my stuff is good. But yeah, I'll talk about just added inconveniences, you know. Highlight, perhaps a star. Media blank, one's daily news consumption soda's diet. Got it. Okay. City that had the final letter of its name removed in 1891, only to be restored in 1911. And oh my gosh, well, Krishna, you got to be excited as all get out to be seeing this. This is fabulous. One of our fantastic community members. Krishna is his name, and he went to Carnegie Mellon University. I mean, he just sings the praises of Pittsburgh, and I absolutely adore that, right? You know, I mean, I love my hometown of Cowtown, Funky Town, whatever you want to call it, Fort Worth, Texas. But really, I think he takes the cake on talk about having, you know, like this philanthropic adoration of Pittsburgh, right? It's the coolest thing. Basics, how about ABCs? So maybe they created this for you here today, Krishna. Missile chambers could be silos. Fits well with could be meshes. And wish that one could, maybe long to. Longing. Antagonist in Calvin and Hobbes, I honestly would not know. I don't know anything about him. It's a boy and a tiger or something, right? I mean, I don't know. I've always just seen cutouts of him relieving himself on whatever brand of vehicle that the person driving the one that stuck it on their windshield doesn't like because they're driving a Chevy versus a Ford or vice versa or something like that. It's all I really know. Unconcerned with right and wrong, and I guess we're talking about amoral as opposed to immoral. And slatted case could be a crate. It would be Yuri Gagarin. So we've got kids' items that come in packs of 8, and I mean crayons. Okay, so here we come up. Gonna find out if I'm fat-fingered something or got something wrong. Arrogant walk could be a strut. But I don't know. Is it a strut if you're arrogant, but if you're actually confident and that's built upon confidence and competence, is that confident walk then a swagger versus a strut? So do we want to be swaggering around, or do we want to avoid strutting? I'm assuming. Go over again. Perhaps we're going to reread. So Galaxy downloads. No, that's right. Galaxy's a type of phone, isn't it? Okay, apps, got it. Feels the pain. Oh man, everybody hurts. Shed tears. So past tense, and I wept. Disclaimer: secondhand product, as is. CPA's column header, probably year to date. Path could be a way. This is the way. How do we do, Bob? This was a tough one. It really was a tough grid today. I mean, this was not your normal Wednesday. Yesterday was not a typical Tuesday, and Monday was also a bit of a challenger that we barely squeaked by on. So we're good. I think we've got, if this is any indication of what's coming up on Saturday, we may have a 2-hour upload. I don't know, but I love it, right? So I love the thrill of the challenge, right? You know, but at the same time, if you're not expecting it, like yesterday for sure, I was really thrown for a loop. And I was talking to one of our followers on TikTok, Meredith, who was telling me the same thing. She's like, hey, I'm just going to go home. I'm bopping along. Everything's great. Going to go do that easy Tuesday grid. And she's like, whoa, I got bamboozled. Exact words. Just like, wow, didn't we all, right? You know, it was crazy. So, fantastic grid, Tom McCoy. Very nicely done. I had a lot of fun with this, and the fact that you put Pittsburgh in there, I guarantee you, has got Krishna Pandravada beaming ear to ear, and I'm beaming for him, right? You know, when I get to know you in the community, when you let me in on what you're doing, where you live, not like I don't need exact address, but you let me know that Pittsburgh is home or just Chicago, whatever, that's fine. I mean, but then I get to know what's going on, and I start remembering things, right? You know, I really like the fact that with so many of you, we actually have an ongoing relationship, so much so that we could probably meet each other in an airport bar and sit and have drinks and wait on our planes to come along. I mean, it'd be really kind of cool. So I love that. Loved the grid. Fantastic, fantastic construction. Couldn't really beat that at all. So what a great hump day grid. We'll bring down our bannière d'adieu, and I'll just leave it with this. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate the new subscribers. I appreciate the legacy subscribers. I love every single one of you dearly. Thank you all so very much for the supportive words and the kind thoughts. Every now and then we have somebody who's angry, but it's happened once. So, you know, we're doing pretty good, I think, right? You know, for having you have 900 and this would be the 967th upload today. So that's pretty good track record, I imagine. Until we see you next time, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there. Just try to be nice to the person behind you in line if it's at all possible. Be well.